All right, all right. Hey guys, welcome back. All right, so this is going to be a part two to that Virgo storyline. If you didn't see part one, you'll probably want to do that first. There's a free link in the description box that'll take you there, and then you can bounce back to this one. I left it up to you guys as to whether or not we wanted to go ahead and do a part two, and overwhelmingly, with the comments that I saw, it's a yes. So here we go for everybody who wanted a part two. I felt like it was an incomplete story as well. So I'm happy to do it because I was wondering about the other half of this story. We left it on, I would say, a little bit of a cliffhanger because we kept getting wedding cards again and again and again. Even Virgo was picking up. And by the way, this is a Virgo who seemingly is just kind of out there on their own, and yet Virgo is in a pretty confident energy, a pretty attractive energy. And what's crazy is they are having like a weird snapshot idea of getting married and having a wedding, even though we saw them in a place of kind of like weird confusion over, like, I don't get it. I don't have success in love, even if I have success in other areas of my life. I don't get how I go from being a hermit, and indeed Virgo came out as a hermit twice, kind of single solo, doing my own thing, feeling a bit like an outsider. Why am I imagining that there's some kind of marriage on my horizon when I don't even have a partner? Sure enough, we kind of kept getting wedding cards on behalf of this King of Cups, who seems to have once upon a time been pretty embroiled in what I was calling the stupid phase of life. They were more concerned with maybe image and keeping up with, whatever their peer group was, and how they could care less about that. They've gone through a major change, and what they're thinking, what they want, is to have an emotionally satisfying relationship. They feel powerful enough for it. But unfortunately, we kind of got a hint that once upon a time they may have said to Virgo that they wanted marriage and they were the marrying kind, and it might have turned out to be a lie because they never moved things forward with Virgo. Yet now here we have the World card, and again we see somebody in a wedding garb. So that's why we kind of got this storyline where we can see somebody wants to marry Virgo, and Virgo's like, this is not even on my radar. So why am I getting these weird little mental images of me getting married when there's not even anybody here? It's because there's a profound pull from this King of Cups. So let's start out with the King of Cups over here in that World card. Okay, so King of Cups is perhaps more solo, single, more self-possessed at this point, has more personal abundance at this point, and is ready to, in this case, we see them flying back home. This is definitely a return. Sorry, Virgo. This is somebody from Virgo's past. They are flying home. We just recently had a really, really beautiful storyline about the Virgo and a connection that was, kind of like being restored. Um, the last Virgo video that I did was like the most beautiful story, but this one is a little bumpy. Hey, RT, my pleasure. We have a Seven of Cups with the Action of Pentacles. I don't know why they took forever. I hope they weren't out just kicking it on multiple vacations and randomly wondering what they should do or not do with Virgo. I mean, we see them coming home now, but I think at one point in time, they were dilly-dallying. Why did we have that Liar's card there with that Seven of Swords that we saw from part one? Because this is not a good look, right? They wore masks, the whole 9 yards. Okay, Spirit of Pentacles, which is the Queen of Pentacles, which would be the Virgo. And then we have the Moon. Because they lied to Virgo. They were not ready. No matter what they said in the past, they were not sure about anything once upon a time. And they hid that part from Virgo. Why? Why did they hide how unsure they were about life, about where they were going, about whatever it was? Okay, so we have Inspiration of Wands in the reverse, and we have that Wheel of Fortune sideways. We're not going to change probably what we've already seen then, with the idea of them being kind of still like wrapped up in that meathead era of life, the stupid era of life, as I was calling it. They weren't clear on anything, and it was really because Virgo met them at the wrong time. This person was not grown up. This person was not ready to, put their money where their mouth is. So let me ask this. What has changed now? I mean, we see that they're in this King of Cups energy now. We see that they're so serious now. We see that they want this marriage now. Three of Wands, Eight of Pentacles, Three of Pentacles. They have taken on a more like loyalty matters to them now. They want to build something. They want their future. They have a future plan now. They know what the future should look like. I think before then, this person was kind of just like, kind of living hand to mouth in a certain extent. I don't really think that they really were, they definitely weren't grown up back when Virgo knew them once upon a time. Now they really want to build something stable with a stable person. The only thing is this doesn't look very sexy to me. I'm sorry, but oh, I want my future to be loyal. I mean, not that that's not beautiful, but Eight of Pentacles is like a lot of work. And then Three of Pentacles is like collaboration, but where's the love? I see, look, I don't know that I'm all for this storyline. I'm sorry. I don't see them other than they were the King of Cups in part one. They did have a ton of emotion. They did want, now anyway, they want to offer emotions, but we keep seeing that they're kind of still looking at this like Virgo is so logical, so grounded, so stable. There can be so much success. It's not that I don't love that a character wants to have a grounded, solid, stable, successful relationship, but remember, that's what they weren't before. Now it's kind of cheeky of them to think like, oh wow, Virgo's always so stable. I want that. Oh, I love them and they're so stable. Yeah, but you weren't. I don't know. I'm not digging this character too much. And this idea that they're crazy in love with the Virgo, I don't know. I'm doubting. I know they have emotion, but I'm doubting this when there's so much like grounded energy and desire for stability. Is it just that all the years of lack of stability in their life and indecisive energy, now it's like, oh man, I'm getting older. I'd really like to have a home to come home to instead of sleeping in a hammock by the beach. That used to be fun, but now I want a nice luxurious house. And you know what? I'm ready for that now. So hey, let's call up Virgo. There's a little edge of that is being hinted at here, and I don't like it. Let's let the universe put me in my place, because Sassy Gate gets very, I get very protective over my characters because I try to hold all characters accountable. I want the best for all of my characters. Ace of Wands in the reverse. Escar, thank you, Angel. You are so generous. Thank you, honey. Thank you very much for that very generous donation. The fact that we have an Ace of Wands in the reverse is the universe is, piping up on this. I always turn to the universe deck where I want to not be so judgy. So I hope that I'll either get put in my place or see a different perspective. But right now, this says that there's not really romance here. This isn't hot-blooded passion after all. We have a Knight of Pentacles. I almost feel like, and we saw the Knight of Pentacles already for them as well. I almost feel like this is, whoa, Virgo, proceed with caution. Just because this person is coming in, hey, I want to marry you. Just a second. Virgo's going to really need to qualify them first. I'm glad on one hand that there's not hot passion, only because something needs to be vetted first. And I think it's them. I think they need to be vetted by Virgo when they have this plan that they're going to marry Virgo. Virgo needs to know why. Why do they want to marry me? We have a Two of Swords. We have a Six of Cups. On one hand, it's, I will say this, Virgo could have a lot of difficulty acknowledging, or it's they who have a lot of difficulty acknowledging, or they've been, for a long time, they were blocking in their own mindset that Virgo is a soulmate to them. So there is a strong bond here, and there had not been an acknowledgement of that. Let me ask this, because that's something that still needs to be addressed. But I want to go over here and ask, how is Virgo going to react when this person seemingly shows up at some point in time this year with the World card, ready to basically kind of pop up out of nowhere and propose? We got that Ten of Swords in the reverse. It's going to stir some energy up in Virgo that first could be like, now, seriously, now you're showing up. Knight of Pentacles. Okay, so Virgo is going to slow walk this no matter what. Nine of Cups and Five of Swords. You know what's wild about this? They're going to act all butthurt over this. Virgo is the one who actually, I think, is going to relive like, damn, what the hell is this? You're showing up out of nowhere. You maybe told me you wanted something in the past, then obviously that wasn't true. Now here you are. Well, I'm sorry, I got a lot to think about with you showing up like this. Because honestly, my life is really, really, really good. They suddenly are going to feel like, oh my God, Virgo's ripped out my heart. In this Five of Swords, the feminine is rejecting the masculine who's being burned down to ashes because of the hurt. And I kind of think that's rich, like, come on, serious? You're going to get all bent out of shape. It's like, well, because I wanted to come in and offer something. Remember, they want to have that marriage that they see it as like, this is going to be so successful. We're going to be that power couple. We're going to collaborate. It's going to be amazing. I'm not in the stupid phase of life anymore. I'm ready for something real. Virgo's the realest it could ever be. We're going to be great together. And Virgo is kind of like, slow your roll, cowboy, cowgirl. What I remember is a mess with you. What I remember is a whole bunch of hurt. So Virgo's not like, oh, pitter patter my heart. I'm so excited to see you. Virgo's kind of like, wow, I just realized that was a mess with you and my life's gotten better since you've not been around. We got the Devil card. I kind of feel like Virgo has become for them. This is so crazy how the roles are flipping like madness in this storyline. Virgo is now the person who they are obsessed with. They are trapped in Virgo's web. Virgo's the sexiest, the most amazing, the most, simply because Virgo is not falling into their arms. And they are in a place where they really want this with Virgo. Virgo is very reticent to say yes to any of this. In fact, they're more inclined to stay single. And this person is now head over heels, feels obsessed, feels like they're wounded, that Virgo is keeping them at arm's length. They can't seem to stop thinking about Virgo. This feels very unrealistic. That a mature character would behave like this. If they had really grown a lot, grown beyond what I was calling the stupid phase of life, I don't think they'd behave quite like this. This feels very much like, I want immediate gratification. Now I want Virgo, like little kids when they want their Cheerios and bananas, before they have much language skills. And it's just all about them. Like, 1.5, 2-year-olds, they show you what they want, chomp their little toothless mouths and make those little grabby motions with their hands to demand of you, give me bananas, give me Cheerios. I kind of feel like that's the vibe on this character. Want Virgo, want. And it's like, Virgo's not saying yes to this. So it's crazy how this storyline is flip-flopping all over the place and kind of devolving just a little bit. They're coming in way too hot and way too fast. They are going to need to slow it down tremendously and not be playing their violin as the big wounded party because Virgo doesn't want them back now. Virgo's maybe not saying a hard no, but they are definitely, like, nothing has been addressed from whatever happened in the past, at least not yet. They are, if they're wise, they will understand that there's a lot of conversation that needs to happen for a lot of healing to happen before this Virgo is going to be all hot and bothered and feel like kissing their lips again. Ace of Wands, they're going to have to rewrite a story with Virgo. And then Virgo might fall back in love with them. But a bunch of healing and first a bunch of conversation and a lot of transparency has to happen. So let me go back over here to that, all of the marriage cards that we've seen throughout this. What's the biggest message about them being married? Okay, so we have a star sideways. Star card would be a wish fulfillment. It would be, an excellent union, or I'm not saying that everybody's wish fulfillment is to simply be married, but in this storyline, for it to be a really great union, for Virgo to say, I want, you're my person, I want to be with you, you make me really happy. This remains basically just a two-sided street. Both characters have to think that of one another. That seems to be the obstacle right now, because clearly they feel that way about Virgo now. Virgo does not feel that way about them. So they're going to have to make Virgo fall for them again, is what it looks like to me. Why is this happening now? Because that World card said it's happening this year. Queen of Swords, Four of Cups, High Priestess. There is an energy of, we already said it's like they have matured to a certain extent, even though I still questioned some of that. But they have chosen a different path now in life. They want love, they want security, they want to build something. But the real reason this is happening right now has more to do with Virgo, which I think is interesting. Virgo is, if we think back to part one, Virgo came out twice as the hermit, but a hermit who was open to meeting some fellow solo traveler, some kindred spirit. And here we see Virgo in a pretty clear mental state, contemplating, you know what, I am looking for someone that will jive with me. Virgo's very good being single, but on the other hand, they're very ready for a real relationship. And there is something here where Virgo was not thinking about this character at all, who's coming back in with all these grand plans. And I think that they already feel the disappointment, because it's like Virgo's energy is being transmitted to them that, I'm going to meet someone. And for whatever reason, they have a link to Virgo. They feel Virgo's readiness to meet someone. They feel Virgo's readiness for a long-term connection. They're picking up the unspoken energy flow, and they know Virgo's actively looking for a long-term partner, and it's going to suck if it isn't them. And I feel like they just know there's already like a worry that Virgo would be looking elsewhere. Virgo's going to build with somebody different, somebody who really suits them. So they're trying to come back in and be that person now. That's the other big component of why this is happening right now, from what I can see. This looks like, I don't really know what's going to happen between Virgo and this person, because they have a lot to have to do, it looks like, to win Virgo back. But as for Virgo sensing that they have a marriage coming up, let me just look at that. Virgo is actively ready for a long-term partnership in this story, even though they've been single. We have a 10 of Pentacles. Virgo's getting married. We have the Sun, but we also have the 7 of Swords. The way I see this is there is great happiness. There is absolute clarity, but somewhere out, I don't know if Virgo is denying that it could ever possibly be them. And so it's not true. Maybe Virgo does know that they're going to end up with this person. But I'm a little bit inclined to say Virgo's going to end up with somebody totally different. They are getting married this year, but it's going to be someone maybe a little older than them, someone who could be actually extremely financially set. Virgo kind of already has this image in their mind. They are sure, they are correct. They are meeting somebody very soon. But as to who it is, I don't know. I'm reading this like it's not going to be that person who's trying to make Virgo fall back in love with them. It's not going to be the person that Virgo couldn't trust from the past. I think we have one person that's really the real deal coming into Virgo's life, and then we have this thing that was false a long time ago. So this, if that's the case, then this kind of feels like a weird, wasted storytelling. If it's not them, let me get one more on this, because why do we even talk so much about them other than they're coming in to be a contender? But I don't really see why they would have shown up so heavily. We have a Queen of Wands sideways. Maybe this is still going to be the person. No, it's not. 3 of Pentacles in the reverse, 2 of Cups sideways. Remember, they were thinking that they wanted to collaborate with Virgo. Their primary reason to connect with Virgo was, yes, I have emotion, really want Virgo, want to marry Virgo, but we saw them with that Three of Pentacles. And I was like, well, that's not very sexy. They just think this would be I'm ready to have a nice house, and Virgo is so stable and it'll be so rad. I didn't like the lack of like passion and powerful connection, but we did see that it is a soulmate, but it's not a Two of Cups. So that's the reason they factor in so heavily. Virgo is going to probably need to be able to discern between, I think Capricorn got a storyline a lot like this a couple days back, where it was like, oh, wow, the person that, it could have been, turns out wasn't, and it's somebody else totally different. But it's almost like this has to be wrapped up. This character from the past, the soulmate is what I'll call the King of Cups, has to show back up in Virgo's world for it to become clear, maybe even to Virgo, that the truth is I am ready for a long-term partner. But even if that person from my past showed back up and said, let's get married, you know what? I just know it isn't them. I just know that it isn't. That would be a lie for me to say that I think it's them. I could say yes to them, but I would know somewhere deep down that I don't think that they love me and are passionate about me the way I would want them to be. I think it would be like a little bit of a passionless connection, even if they acted like there was passion. I really think Virgo knows that's not the right partner after all. That person coming in and proposing, I think they're going to get 2 proposals this year, which is probably the craziest part. But they don't want a partner who says, well, Virgo, you're so stable. We'll have such a stable life. I think Virgo would be better off with that Two of Cups person, a genuine match, true, genuine, boisterous, happy, crazy love affair. And it just looks like the person that they're really going to have that joy with is this person here. Someone who already comes in with all of their abundance. This is Virgo's Two of Cups. I think it's a brand new person, but I think it's somebody who's not looking at Virgo as, okay, now we can collaborate. You have some money, I have some money, we'll put it together and make, find a big house. This is somebody who already says, no, I got the house, I got all my life stuff worked out. What I want now is a partner to be happy with. That's the kind of abundance I want now. I want, a legacy of spending time together and laughing together. I feel like this person's going to make Virgo a lot happier because there's a more like genuine emotional bond. I do feel like they could be older than Virgo. They could be an old soul in general. And remember, I know this was a long time ago now, 40 minutes ago, but in the very beginning, what we saw was a storyline where our Virgo seemed to be out there kind of on their own, traveling around the landscape of their life saying, I'm out here by myself, but maybe someday I'll meet somebody else who's out there by themselves. And maybe even though I feel a bit like an outsider, maybe I'll meet somebody else who's a little bit of an outsider. I think this is that person. Not saying that they're an outsider per se, but I feel like there's someone who is so well put together, so self-possessed. They don't need anyone any more than Virgo did, but they want to have someone to laugh with and share energy with. But they're not doing it because they're like, well, I want to buy a house with you because after all my years of sleeping in a hammock, I now want a bed to come home to. I don't think that that's this person at all. I think they already have the finer things in life. I think they're already well put together. They are a solo, independent traveler, a person who's made their way in life all on their own. That's the person that's right for Virgo. And what's crazy is, hold on, let me ask, but I feel like Virgo's going to have 2 proposals this year. And one is from somebody from the past who we talked about so much, who it's like, okay, I guess this is who Virgo's supposed to be with. And I don't think it is. I think Virgo's going to turn down that person from their past for all the right reasons. I think they're going to say no. We got Virgo standing tall, knowing exactly who they want and what they want. With the Justice card here, I think this is justice being served. I don't think they're supposed to end up with the person from their past who comes in and now they're ready to marry Virgo. I don't think, especially this card sideways, even though they're really upset, why doesn't Virgo love me? I'm all obsessed now. I want to be with Virgo. They may pursue Virgo. This King of Cups may pursue Virgo kind of hot and heavy when Virgo turns them down. But I think that's part of the karma also. The idea that once upon a time they overstated what they were ready for, then they kind of dipped out on Virgo, disappeared, slept in the hammock by the beach for however long, however many years they've been away. Now they're ready to come on home and play house and have a stable life because they know Virgo's a stable person. They don't get Virgo this time. And I think that's part of the karmic balance of the universe. You didn't want it when you had it. Now you're kind of coming in for the wrong reason. You do have emotions, but it's more about the stability. You don't get Virgo just because Virgo is stable. You gotta, whoever Virgo is with, there's got to be love. Otherwise, Virgo would be getting shortchanged. And that's what I love about somebody who is not looking at Virgo as, wow, you're an awesome meal ticket. This person has probably a lot more money. I mean, not to insult Virgo, but this this character would be more well off than Virgo is. They would be more stable. They would not be looking at Virgo as anything that, like, let me evaluate how much money do you have before I'll decide if, you're a good match for me. This character needs nothing from Virgo other than they really want to be happy. I think Virgo is going to notice the difference. They're going to sense the difference. Interesting. This one kind of took me on a little bit of a loop. I didn't expect it to be, kind of some plot twists in all this and some twists and turns, but I actually like it when we get something a little bit more interesting like that. It's like, oh, well, I didn't see that coming. Anyway, you guys, thank you so much. Thank you for hanging out with me. It's really nice to see all of you. I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you again, Iskar. Really nice, really generous of you. I appreciate it. Corabelle, you got your juice for part deuce. You're adorable. Dean's piece, nice. Yes, out with the old. That's kind of what the storyline was, huh? Hi, Tammy. Good to see you again, sweetie. Just me. Good to see you. All right, you guys. Abu, good to see you up there. I spot you in the comments up there. All right, you guys, take care. Thanks for hanging out. I didn't know this one was going to get so long, but there we go. Sometimes they are long. All right, take care. I'll see you guys tomorrow.